Alright, Platoon, fall in. I am the Joe. He's the tomato. I don't know if you know this or not. He's actually not wearing a ball cap right now. He stayed out in the sun today and got himself burned. So.
Well, I was working in the sun. I don't know what you were doing today.
Dude, there's no difference in skin color between your hat and that massive cherry tomato ears. It's okay. Red's a Marine Corps color anyway.
Hoorah! That scare you?
No, it makes me laugh even
Of course
harder.
it's a Marine Corps color. It's a color of blood.
Which you
Color
guys
our
do
enemies.
exceptionally well.
That's right. We kill.
You guys bleed
We are good at it.
tremendously.
We could teach you, but it's
How to bleed?
impossible.
No, I'm good. I like my blood on the inside of my body,
Can't teach soldiers anything.
said the Marine. Okay. Welcome to the
Inspirational
show.
thought?
Inspirational thought.
Inspirational
Inspire
thought.
us.
I will. Well, actually, I'm going to let J.K. Rowling do it. Who's J.K. Rowling?
That would be the author of the Harry Potter series.
Harry Potter series. Very well done, Joe. I am very proud of you.
You know, I can't. I wish I could claim credit, but that's the producer right there. She's the Potterhead of the family.
Oh, man, it's good. I mean, it's almost un-American to not be a Potterhead anymore. So.
Which is strange because it's a British series. Weird.
We're going to talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
So in one of her books, she said, this is Dumbledore talking to Harry. He says, "Of course it's happening inside your head, Harry, but why should that mean that it's not real?" I like this because everything that all the thoughts that we have in our head, we should consider them as real, right? Real life, real things, because your thoughts shape your character. Your character turns into your personality, and your personality is who you are. It's what you are. It's who you are becoming, right?
I see where you're going with this. Okay.
Yeah, we can control our thoughts. A lot of people think that they can't control their thoughts, and that's what anxiety, and that's why anxiety is taking over the world today.
Yep.
Because people just think they can't control their thoughts, and the thoughts just running away.
No, you can. It just takes practice.
Yes,
It's a
it
little bit,
can.
just a little bit of discipline.
Exactly. And you can pick your avenue, whether it's praying or meditating or doing your self-affirmations, where you're standing in front of the mirror and say, "I am going to kill this Joe today in this show. I'm going to mop the floor with him."
I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you can say it, and it makes you feel confident.
Everybody knows it's going to happen, but nice try.
Okay.
We've already started. It's going to be great. So you can't control your thoughts, right? Don't let
Absolutely.
anxiety run away with you. Don't allow anxiety to control your life and take you on a roller coaster ride that you know it's going to crash. Practice it. That's your inspirational thought for the day.
I like it.
Now tell us about history, Joe.
History. So this week in 1983, Samantha Smith went to the Soviet Union. So Samantha Smith was an 11-year-old girl in Maine, and she wrote a letter to Soviet Premier Yuri Andropov. And
Drop off.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
yeah, he pretty much dropped off the planet after Mikhail Gorbachev got elected.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's great.
so Andropov got the letter, and because of, believe it or not, American public response, he wrote back to her.
What?
Yeah. So she wrote to him and she asked him, like, do you want nuclear war with the United States? And if not, what are you doing to try to stop it?
Wow.
And he's like, no joke. Okay. So he wrote back to her and he's like, you know what? We don't want nuclear war with the United States. We don't want, that kind of mass casualty stuff. We are working for peace. And if you come to the Soviet Union, I'll show you all about it. And she went to the Soviet Union and she was given a tour, and obviously a very closely guided tour, where she was showing exactly what she wanted to see, and actually did get to talk to a few people who said, like, no, Soviet Union sucks. But it was
Really?
Yeah. And
Did those people survive after they said that?
probably not. They probably ended up in Siberia counting trees for a living. But they
Headless.
right, yeah, and didn't matter. It was both praised and condemned by Americans because this is a step toward peace, and also because they're just going to use her as a propaganda tool. Okay, the majority of it came out as this little chick is an ambassador for peace. She is not just talking about it, she's actually going and doing something about it, actually working to put peace between the two most bitter enemies on the planet into the public spotlight.
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old. And
That's more than our ambassadors do.
Right?
Today.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Good on you, Samantha Smith.
Is she still kicking?
She is not. Actually,
Come on, Samantha.
2 years after she got home, she and her father and a few other people were killed in a plane crash. And believe it or not, she was eulogized as this ambassador of peace and international friendship by Mikhail Gorbachev himself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you are definitely missed, Samantha.
absolutely.
Wish you were here
There
today.
need to be more people like you.
Yep. Good history segment.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, going right into current events. A lot of stuff going on in the world
Yes,
that
sir.
nobody's talking about. This drives me crazy. 183 kids from ages 8 to 18 were just released out of prison in Nigeria. Now let's stop and
Good.
take a breath there for a second, because this is prison in Nigeria. All right.
This
There's
is not
no-
American prison.
Yeah, there's no 3 square meals a day. There's no ping pong.
You're not
tables.
gonna earn your degree online.
Nope. There's dirt floors, there's bars, you're lucky to get a biscuit and water for a day. But they were as young as 8, right? There was 175 boys, 8 girls, and these people were being held on suspicion. Suspicion of being Boko Haram. So all of them were released, found not guilty or
Oh,
whatever.
good.
So, but that's the difference in politics between here and way over there. They're just, oh, you look like you could be Boko Haram. You're gonna go to jail.
All right.
I'm 9 years old. Jail they went.
You look like you could be Boko Haram.
You think so?
Yeah.
Does that frighten you? It should. So the place they're in, it's the capital of Nigeria, Maiduguri. Not Madagascar, Maiduguri. Maiduguri?
You know what? Good enough.
Good enough, he
take it.
says. So once all these kids get out of jail, it's going to take them a while to get reconnected with their families, right? So the United Nations Children Fund, also called UNICEF, has to step in and help, so that they're now on the world stage because they're taking money from everywhere else to get involved to take care of these kids. But what's killing me about this is that we know what's going on there, all right? Boko Haram's been there since 2009. Just last month, they had a suicide attack that killed 31 people in Nigeria. Not only that, but
I don't remember hearing about that.
Of course you did.
Must have been less important than presidential tweets.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh well.
But in 2016, they did something similar because 149 people died in that same prison in 1 year. In that one prison, 149 people died. 11 of them were kids, and get this, one of those kids was 5 months old. It's not even a kid.
That's an infant.
Yes, died in a prison in Nigeria. This is going on. This needs to be on the world stage. And what kills me about this is that if you trace the steps, if you do 5 minutes worth of research in this, I had to piece together a couple different articles to dive into this. But Boko Haram right now is thriving off of tramadol, an opioid epidemic going on in Nigeria right now, right? They have crazy controls on their opioids, something we need to get a handle on, right, New Hampshire?
Right.
But yeah, so that's kind of their, that's how they're getting all their money, is because they're selling tramadol on the black market, which is a big epidemic. There's so many addictions right now in Nigeria. So we know how Boko Haram is getting their money. We even know where it's coming from. We know it's coming from India. India is shipping this tramadol disguised as other pills. We know where it's coming from. We know where the source is. So I don't think this is a world problem. It's definitely not an American problem, but Nigeria knows where their addiction comes, where this addiction for their country is coming from. They know where Boko Haram is getting their money from. Why don't they just cut that head off of that snake right there? What prevents them from doing this?
African politics. I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
know.
like,
It's
yeah.
It's the craziest thing. I don't understand. But like I said, I only did 5 minutes of research into this article once I found out 183 kids were put in jail. I'm like, okay, let's start connecting dots. 5 minutes later, oh look, tramadol. Cut them off. Boko Haram's got no more money.
You know it's an important issue when a Marine is willing to pay attention to the same thing for 5 minutes straight.
5 whole minutes.
That is him. That's dedication, man.
Right.
I'm proud of you.
Me too. I've put up with you for longer than 5 minutes. Right
I know.
Go
the
me.
feeling is mutual.
You are still alive and not bleeding. You're welcome.
Keep talking, Jarhead.
What's going on in
All right.
Brexit?
Brexit.
There's not enough going on. This is the perfect time to talk about this since we just celebrated America's version of Brexit.
The original Brexit, 1776, July 4th.
First
Yes.
Woo!
We did it a lot cleaner than they did.
Yeah, I still got all 10 fingers too. I made it. No fireworks exploding in my head. Right?
Yeah, about that. Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, lost 2 of her subordinate ministers
Dos.
in like 7 hours. yesterday. She lost her foreign minister, Boris Johnson, and she lost David Davis, her, believe it or not, the Brexit minister.
There's a minister for
There's
Brexit?
a minister specifically for Brexit.
Oh my God.
This is getting to some like Monty Python minister of silly walks type stuff.
Right?
But there's a Brexit minister, and both of them quit because they don't think she's making a clean enough Brexit. It's not like, if you actually look at the criteria and like, because she outlines these 12 hardline points of like exactly what's going to happen during Brexit, but then if you actually look at the text of it and what each of those points means, it goes from Brexit to like Brexish.
Right? Maybe a little bit. We still want to hold on to these couple things, right?
So I actually wrote down some of these. So UK farmers, British farmers, still have to grow produce to EU standards, which until 2008 meant you couldn't have a bend in your banana or in your cucumber. It had to be a straight vegetable.
I would not eat that. That would creep me out.
Right. Britain is still responsible for collecting EU tariffs on EU goods that pass through a British port. So yeah.
It's like, because they're having a divorce from EU, so that's like your
Right.
divorcee wife still controlling your money?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's like, I'm divorcing you, but I want alimony.
Makes perfect sense.
Right? So, here's a good one. British banks have to keep EU service rules, but they're not allowed to have the passporture that allows them to sell their services in Europe.
So how? What?
Yeah.
That makes Brexit sense right there.
Yes, that's Common Core math right there.
Wow.
And the best one is disputes between Britain and the EU are settled by a joint committee that
Oh my gosh.
rules based on EU law. You know, they both have a poker hand, but both hands are dealt by the EU.
Yeah.
So that's you're not allowed to settle your own dispute with a foreign power by joint rules. It's by their rules.
Yeah. So whatever you say, we're gonna do.
Yeah. So moral of the story, folks, is this is what happens when you surrender individual liberty to be part of a collective. The collective decides what you can and can't do, and they are almost impossible to get out of once you're in.
Yep.
Maintaining individual liberty, both as an individual and as an individual nation, it is so important, and the more of it you surrender, the harder it is to get back.
And you're seeing that with Brexit, right? I mean, just to give a quick overview of Brexit, because that's England wanting to divorce from the rest of the EU, right? The
Yeah.
rest of the European Union,
Yep.
to gather themselves together, to all those countries that have formed the EU, right? England said, no, we're tired of not having our individual freedom, so we want a divorce.
Why should
Now-
British people be subject to rules made in Brussels, Belgium?
Right, and that's exactly what's going on. So they're trying that divorce, and now you can see how that divorce-ish,
It is not an amicable divorce.
they are getting their butts kicked.
They are.
Sorry. We didn't. We kicked butt. Circa 1776.
Darn right.
All right, moving on to Japan.
Hashtag the army did it in 1775.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But then we're doing it right. So along come Tub Tavern, help them guys out. Marines had to come in. Can we talk about Japan? Are you ready for that?
You know what? Let's talk about Japan. What happened to Japan?
So you guys heard about this? 100 people just died in Japan in the last couple of days. What kills me about this is that there's crazy rainfall going on. They have 3 times the usual amount of rainfall. They're getting 14 inches of rain in 2 hours. Or they
Good
were.
grief.
What's killing me about this, Joe, is that this has been happening for days. This started 3 days ago. Did you see anything on this? Are you seeing anything else about on the news now?
Yeah, like our pre-show was the first I heard of it.
Yeah.
This is
it's
news.
Killing me. I had to dig down into the bottom of all these new websites to find that. Then you go to another new website to try to connect the dots. Nope, there's nothing there. I had to go through like a dozen different news reporting agencies, and only like 2 or 3 of them had anything on this. Yes, 100 people died in Japan because of these rainfalls, so you get mudslides, right? People are getting lost, they're drowning, houses are getting destroyed. Thousands, tens of thousands of houses are destroyed. People have no electricity, they have no water, they have no food.
This is a first world nation. This is not like some backwater place. It's Japan.
Yep. one of our biggest allies, our biggest buddies.
Yep.
2 million people displaced. 2 million people living outside their homes
crazy.
right now. Yeah. So it's mainly happening in the Hiroshima area. So, I mean, it's all over the mainland too, but mainly down there. And their prime minister, who has this cool name, his name is Shinzo Abe.
Abe.
Oh, you just ruined it.
No, I cannot hear the Jarhead slaughter names anymore tonight.
So Shinzo Abe has sent over 70,000 people, rescuers, out to help, which I think is awesome, right?
I saw the greatest picture today.
Are you taking away from my segment?
Yeah, you stole mine last time. I'm stealing yours this time. It's a picture of a North Korean diver going to rescue those kids in Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a dude wearing like snorkeling fins with a like garden hose connected to a propane tank. It was glorious. I loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your story.
Nope, you ruined my segment. We're done.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is why the Joe and the Jarhead here, because this stuff is important. 100 people died over in
2 million
Japan,
people displaced?
right? And we're not hearing
It's
about
a big
this.
deal.
But the only thing you're going to find on the news right now is Trump's pick, right?
Yeah, who's it going to be for Supreme Court?
Yeah, you picked him.
It's going to be who's going to be.
And we're not going to report on that because that's all the other news
You're
people
going
are talking
to
about.
watch any channel, you'll hear about that. We're going to bring you, stuff that affects millions of people. Stuff that affects the Japanese economy, which affects our economy.
And what kills me even more is when I was looking this up, I was like, you know what? I want to help out.
Right.
Because I want to, but you want to go to those big news agencies, Fox, CNN. How do I help these people? Can I send a couple bucks? Is there a GoFundMe, a charity over there, a local church I can send money to? I can't find nothing. Hours of research into this, nothing. I don't know what, I don't know.
And you're not gonna. Because it's not
not
worth
right.
reporting on. Because there's more important stuff, like how do you pronounce, is it caramel or caramel?
Well, that last episode for that one, it was epic.
Watch our last episode.
It's caramel, by the way.
It's pronounced, I don't give a crap.
Let's move on to Boston.
Let's move on to Boston. Let's not move on to Boston. Because,
don't move to Boston.
Don't move to Boston.
We'll do that. We love you, Boston.
Yes.
But your politics, your government there
Your
is
politics, your city council has the dome.
infected.
They are infected with the dome. Because, your city council, this is according to the AP and Boston Herald, tomorrow, Tuesday, when this airs, your city council will be holding a hearing on making elections more inclusive.
So by that they mean taking away the rights of everybody else by allowing people to vote who should not be voting.
In those exact words, yes. So it's allowing, what's on the table for discussion is allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections. So this is going to include, according to the news agencies I looked up, this is legal permanent residents. So this is visa holders. This is temporary protected status, so you're refugees. And it's dreamers. This is the DACA crowd. These are illegal immigrants who happen to be brought here as children, would be allowed to vote in local elections.
Keyword is illegal.
Illegal.
Or
I don't care. You know what? Honestly, I don't care if you're a legal alien resident here. You don't get to vote. How is this a topic for discussion? Voting is the right of a citizen.
The right.
It is the right of a citizen. There is no justification for allowing someone who is not a citizen to help shape policy that affects Americans.
You know, it actually, this is about as much sense as the Army trying to come into the Marines and trying to tell us how to do our job. Listen, this is how you need to be doing things. That would never work.
You're right, because you're too stupid to understand us anyway.
You would never get it. Turn around and run scared.
I'm thinking you would never get it. Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I don't understand why you would want people coming in and telling you how to do your stuff.
Well, the justification that was given for it is that there are 190,000 foreign-born residents of Boston. It's 28. It's almost 30% of their population. Almost 1 in 3 people in Boston is foreign-born.
Okay, well, I like that. That's great. That is awesome. That is immigration at its finest, because his words were foreign-born,
right.
not illegal.
Right.
Another word for that would be criminal.
And I'm sure the overwhelming majority of them did come here legally and are visa holders or are people who are in the naturalization process. Good on you if you are. And they go on to say, like, they paid $116 million in state and local taxes, and they contributed to $3.4 billion in spending.
Awesome.
Which, good on you.
Great.
Doesn't matter.
I support that.
Does not matter.
Oh,
you
boy.
do not get to vote. I don't care how much you contribute. You are not a citizen of this country. You do not get to shape policy that affects the citizens of this country. If you are going to say that everyone, whether you're a citizen or not, has the right to vote, why become a citizen?
Right.
Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? And I think this sets a dangerous precedent, because if you are allowing non-citizens to shape policy, do they get to run for office?
Right. What's the next
If they
step
can
there?
vote, why would they not vote for one of their own?
That's not, you can't, oh my gosh, you just can't trust that person, right? Who's
No.
running for office, who's not a citizen here, who hasn't put in the work to care enough about getting that citizenship.
If you
to
wanna
start making
vote,
policy.
It's just, get your visa, come here, apply, do it the right way. Once you are a U.S. citizen, vote all you want. You have earned the right to have the same benefits as every other American citizen and to be treated no differently. And if someone treats you differently once you are a naturalized U.S. citizen, I will be the first to stand next to you and fight to help you achieve and sustain your rights as a citizen. But until you are a citizen, I'm sorry, you don't get equal treatment. You're not one of us yet.
You know, Joe, I have the softest place in my heart for these people, because I actually tried to sponsor a family from Ghana, from South America, to come
I'm trying
here.
to bring 2 of my interpreters over from Afghanistan. These guys risked their lives for me.
And I love it, and I get that it's a hard process, that it takes forever and a lot of money to do it.
Yep.
But there's a reason for that. And if you want to change that, to make a change, become a citizen and help us make that change.
Absolutely.
Don't do it through some
Absolutely.
backdoor deals. That's not the way to do it.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
We got a hero today.
Yes, her.
A lot of our heroes
I don't even
are
know this
cops.
dude's name.
He's a cop.
I
He's a
have
police
not
officer.
found his name at all anywhere. But there was a video that went viral of this dude. You've probably seen it on Facebook or Instagram or something. But he's from Marysville, Washington. Excuse me. And he was just driving along his patrol route on the 4th, and a flag had blown down in the wind. Like its little stanchion that held it to the side of the house, it snapped, and it's just dragging on the ground. If you want to tap dance all over my flip tables button, let an American flag touch the ground.
What now?
I
did not speak that Joe language.
I
don't know
get
what that
so
was.
heated when an American flag is allowed to touch the ground.
I speak that language.
I like that. That is my biggest pet peeve. But this dude stops his patrol car, goes and tries to right this thing a bunch of times, but I guess the stanchion actually broke. So he takes it out, very carefully not letting it touch the ground, rolls it up nice and tight, and leaves it on this dude's doorstep. And the only reason we know about this is because the homeowner found his flag rolled up on his doorstep and looked at his home security camera footage and saw this cop do this and decided that, just like us, decided this is a dude that deserves to be recognized. So he just published the video from his security camera.
Perfect.
This is what it takes. This is what will help America the most, I think. It is not massive acts done publicly in seeking praise. It is thousands upon thousands of tiny, unrecognized, unsung events like this. This cop was not expecting this. I will guarantee it. He's just a dude doing the right thing for the right reason through just integrity, because, whether anyone was looking or not.
So there's actually 2 heroes here, because the guy who saw that on his home security footage went out there and made sure that this became a big deal, right?
You know
Actually
what?
posted
Double
that.
hero tonight.
Yeah. Kudos to you for not letting that guy go unsung. Nice
Well done.
job.
Well done.
All right. Good show.
Good show. Next formation?
Next formation's Thursday. Formation's Tuesday and Thursday.
Outstanding.
You guys want to join the Platoon? We're on all the social media platforms. You can find us out there. Podcasts are coming soon. We promise.
We promise.
Joe and the Jarhead kind of struggle working together, trying to figure that out. We'll get there eventually. We played
Absolutely.
nice today. Maybe we can
We
do
did.
it. Editing process. We'll see. I
Dear
don't know.
God, you're ugly.
Platoon dismissed. I'm done with this guy.